second after the roll calling.
今天12月来，我点个名哦。凯瑜，然后品名一号2、3号还没来，4、5号还没来，6没来，7、8、9、10、12、13、14、16、18，请假，20、21、22、24、26、27、28、29、30、32、33、34、36、41、42、43、48、50。
Now let's welcome Group 5.
Good afternoon, we are Group 5, and I'm Mo Wanyu, and our team members are Kai Yu, Yu Zhen, Yiting, and Bo Yan. Today we are going to introduce Unit 7, Dealing with Accidents and Emergencies. There is our table of contents. In the first part is warming up, and it will be presented by me. I will discuss 3 questions in this part. The second part is vocabulary. It will be presented by Bo Yan. And the third part is scenario 1. It will be presented by Bo Yan and Yu Zhen. The fourth part is preposition practice. It will be presented by Yu Zhen. Discussion questions and activity 1 will be presented by Yiting. And the last one, high and low context culture, will be presented by Kai Yu. And after that, I will make a brief conclusion for this presentation. And I will show you our references, inside story, and job assignment. And after job assignment, we will have 20 minutes break time. And after break time, we will invite each group to come to the stage and give us some comments. And we will choose 3 best commentators. Finally, we will share our feedback for this presentation. Okay, let's get started. The first part is warming up. Please turn to page 48. And before discussing this part, I have a question to ask. What is emergency? An emergency can cause extreme amounts of physical or emotional stress. So we can look at the question 1. What is your usual reaction to emergencies? There are 3 don'ts and 3 do's. First, don't be anxiety. As for 3 don'ts, don't be anxiety or panic, depression or palpitation. And the definition of palpitation is the feeling that your heart is beating so fast and may cause breathing difficulties. And these feelings may cause poor decision making or make the situation worse. So we can look at the right side. As for 3 do's, first, stay calm. Try to take a deep breath. And second, assess the situation, evaluate the problems, and decide the best we can do. And the third, take immediate action, such as calling for help or providing assistance. Question 2. Are you always prepared for emergencies? Take me for example. I think I'm not always prepared for emergency, but I will try to prepare for keeping emergency supplies like first aid kit, flashlight, or food and water. And I also keep contact information to connect with families or friends. And in addition, stay informed about emergency precautions to handle basic problems. However, there's always room for improvement, but just do the best for what we can do. The last question is, which type of emergency do you think you could not handle? First, medical expertise, which requires advanced medical knowledge or equipment and may be difficult without professional support. Second, large-scale crises, like natural disasters and such as earthquakes, tornadoes, or floods, where resources are limited and maybe feel overwhelming and challenging. And the last one is sudden accidents, like traffic accidents or building collapses, and which needs immediate rescue assistance, and decision making under pressure may cause may hard to deal with. So in conclude, in most crisis situations, there is no definite right or wrong, and there is no perfect way, only the best we can do. It's the end of my part. Let's give the floor to Boye.
Hi everyone, I'm Hong Boyan. Now I will talk about the vocabulary part, and please turn to page 48 and 49. And next, I will ask you to repeat the vocabulary and the sentence after me.
How many words do you have?
Well, in this part, I will have 5 vocabularies. Okay. So the first one is lounge. Lounge. And it means a room in a hotel, airport, or theater where you can relax or wait. And the sentence is, you can access the internet using the desktops in the lounge and they are free of charge.
You can access the internet using desktops in the lounge, and they are free of charge.
Okay, the next one is refrain.
Refrain.
So basically, it is to avoid doing or stop yourself from doing something. And the sentence is, we ask that you please refrain from using leaks for over 20 minutes at a single section to ensure others can have a turn.
We ask that you please refrain from using this for over 20 minutes at a single session to ensure others can have a turn.
Okay, so the third one is satellite.
Satellite.
And it's quite simple. It is a device that we use to send out into space and travel around Earth to accept those signals and information. And the sentence is, as for the satellite phone option, it is charged by the minutes and so not so cheap.
As for the satellite function, it is charged by minute and so
Okay, so the fourth one is orientation.
orientation.
Well, in the sentence, its definition is the process of providing information about the activity or the job. So the sentence is, don't worry, sir, we will have an orientation shortly after the registration process.
Don't worry, sir, we'll have an orientation shortly after the registration process.
So last one is precaution.
Precaution.
So it is an action that is done to prevent something unpleasant or dangerous happening. And the sentence is, it also includes a safety precaution demonstration.
It also includes a safety precautions demonstration.
And this is the end of the vocabulary part. And next we will have the scenario 1, and this part will be presented by me and Lin Yuzhen.
I'm Newton. I will be the client 1, 2, and 3.
And I will be the Roger. Okay. Good morning, everyone. We will begin our registration on board shortly. Please prepare your registration card and line up in the correct line for quick check-in.
Good morning, everyone. We will begin our registration on board shortly. Please prepare your registration card and line up in the correct line for quick check-in.
Excuse me, how can I tell in which line I should line up?
Excuse me, how can I tell in which line I should line up?
If you will take a look at the back of your card, you will see a number indicating where you should line up.
If you take a look at the back of your card, you will see a number indicating where you should line up.
I have another question. Can I access the internet on the ship?
I have another question. Can I access the internet on the ship?
And how can I contact my family from out at sea?
And how can I contact my family from outside?
Good question. Unfortunately, I'm afraid you cannot use your personal mobile or other electronic devices to access the internet. And it is not possible to phone your family or friends via mobile since there is no signal connection on the open seas.
Good question. Unfortunately, I'm afraid you cannot use your personal mobile or other electronic devices to access the internet, and it's not possible to phone your family or friends via mobile since there is no signal connection on the open seas.
There must be some way to keep in touch with the outside world. We need to keep in touch with our clients all the time.
There must be some way to keep in touch with the outside world. We need to keep in touch with your clients all the time.
This is something we're going to need to insist on you helping us to figure out.
This is something we're going to need to insist on you helping us to figure out.
Sorry, I didn't make myself clear enough.
Sorry, I didn't make myself clear enough.
Though you cannot use your mobile, we do provide alternatives. Alternatives.
Sorry, I didn't make myself clear enough. To provide alternatives.
There is satellite phones and desktops on the ship.
There are satellite phones and desktops on the ship.
You can access the internet using desktops in the lounge and they are free of charge.
You can access the internet using the desktops in the lounge and they are free of charge.
Is there any time limit on using the internet?
Is there any time limit on using the internet?
We ask that you please refrain from using this for over 20 minutes at a single session to ensure others can have a turn.
We ask that you please refrain from using this for over 20 minutes at a single section to ensure others can have a turn.
As for the satellite phone option, it is charged by a minute and so not so cheap.
As for the satellite phone option, it is charged by the minute and so not so cheap.
Alright, any other questions?
Alright, any other questions?
Yes, we're not familiar with any of the entertainment facilities available on board. How can we use them?
Yes, we are not familiar with any of the entertainment facilities available on board. How can we use it?
Don't worry, sir. We'll have an orientation shortly after the registration process.
Don't worry, sir. We'll have an orientation shortly after the registration process.
It also includes a safety precaution demonstration.
It also includes a safety precautions demonstration.
It is very important and everyone is expected to join.
This is very important and everyone is expected to join.
Okay, could everyone please process to your desk to finish the registration?
Okay, could everyone please proceed to your desk to finish the registration?
And I'm Newton now. I'm going to introduce the preposition practice. And I have 12 questions in total. The first one is, please prepare your registration card and line up the correct line, quick check-in. Is there anyone know the answer? 因为
Yes, the answer is E and 4. Please repeat after me. Please prepare your registration card and line up in the correct line for quick check-in.
Please prepare your registration card and line up in the correct line for quick check-in.
The next one is, excuse me, how can I tell which line I should line up? Yes, the answer is E. Please repeat after me. Excuse me, how can I tell in which line I should line up?
Excuse me, how can I tell in which line I should line up?
And the next one is, if you take a look at the back of your card, you will see a number indicating where you should line up. 上方.
At and off.
Yes, the answer is at and off. Please repeat after me. If you take a look at the back of your card, you will see a number indicating where you should line up.
If you take a look at the back of your card, you will see a number indicating where you should line up.
And number 4 is, can I access the internet, the ship, and how can I contact my family out at sea? Is there anyone know the answer?
And from at.
Yes, the answers are on, from, and at. Can I access the internet on the ship, and how can I contact my family from out at sea?
Can I access the internet on the ship, and how can I contact my family from out at sea?
Number 5 is, unfortunately, I'm afraid you cannot use your personal mobile or other electronic devices, access the internet, and it's not possible from your family or friends' mobile since there is no signal connection in the open seas. Is there anyone know the answers? And if not, I will show you the answers. The answers are 2, via, and on. Please repeat after me. Unfortunately, I'm afraid you cannot use your personal mobile or other electronic devices to access the internet, and it's not possible to phone your family or friends via mobile since there is no signal connection on the open seas.
Unfortunately, I'm afraid you cannot use your personal mobile or other electronic devices to access the internet. It is not possible to phone your family or friends via mobile since there is no signal connection on the open seas.
And number 6 is, there must be some way to keep in touch the outside world. We need to keep in touch our clients all the time. This is something we're going to need to insist you helping us to figure out. Is there anyone know the answers? Yes, Yuzhen. Yes, the answers are 2, with, and up. Please repeat after me. There must be some way to keep in touch with the outside world. We need to keep in touch with our clients all the time. This is something we're going to need to insist on you helping us to figure out.
There must be some way to keep in touch with the outside world. We need to keep in touch with our clients all the time. This is something we're going to need to insist on you helping us to figure out.
And the next one is, there are satellite phones and desktops, the ship. You can access the internet using the desktops, the launch, and they are free of charge. Yes, the answers are on and in. Please repeat after me. There are satellite phones and desktops on the ship. You can access the internet using the desktops in the launch, and they are free of charge.
There are satellite phones and desktops on the ship. You can access the internet using the desktops in the launch, and they are free of charge.
And the next one is there any time limit using the internet? And yes, the answer is up. Is there any time limit on using the internet?
Is there any time limit on using the internet?
And number 9 is, we ask that you please refrain using this over 20 minutes a single session. Ensure others can have a turn. Is there anyone? Yes. Yes, the answers are from 4, at, and 2. We ask that you please refrain from using this for over 20 minutes at a single session to ensure others can have a turn.
We ask that you please refrain from using this for over 20 minutes at a single session to ensure others can have a turn.
The next one is as the satellite phone option. It is charged the minute and so not so cheap. Yes, the answers are 4 and 5. As for the satellite phone option, it is charged by the minute and so not so cheap.
As for the satellite phone option, it is charged by the minute and so not so cheap.
The next one is we are not familiar with any the entertainment facilities available on board. Yes, the answer is we are not familiar with any of the entertainment facilities available on board.
We are not familiar with any of the entertainment facilities available on board.
And the next one is okay, could everyone please proceed to your desks? Finish the registration. Yes, the answer is 2. Okay, could everyone please proceed to your desks to finish the registration?
Okay, could everyone please proceed to your desk to finish the registration?
And now I will give the floor to Yiting.
I'm Zhao Yiting, and I will present the discussion questions and activity. First, let's look at discussion questions and turn to page 51. In this section, we will take a look at 2 scenarios, and let's begin with the first question. The first question is, one of the passengers finds his or her passport has already expired when he or she is ready to check in at the airport. However, but he or she desperately hopes to travel together with the company. How can you comfort him or her and provide some solutions? To deal with this situation, we can break it into 2 steps. The first step is comforting the passengers. Our first priority is to remain calm and show our empathy and acknowledge the passenger's feelings. For example, we could say something like, I completely understand how frustrating and stressful you are, but let's stay calm and try work on this together. Additionally, it is crucial to encourage positivity because providing hopes to the passenger, it makes a big difference to them to approach the problems. After calming the passengers, we can move to the step 2, providing some practical solutions to the passengers. Since the core problem is the expired passport, we could check whether there's a media option for the passport renewal. For example, in some country, they provide quickly renewal services to the urgent travel situations. So we may find some solution there, or we could explore some alternative travel plans for them, like rescheduling the trip or find a new way to catch up the group once the passport issue is resolved. And let's move on to the second question. The second question is, you are asked to provide extra free services like a helicopter tour or complimentary metabar services in a hotel for an overseas destination, but you are not authorized to do so by your company. Now make an international phone call back to First Initiative Travel and talk to your supervisor about the problems you encounter, and the supervisor should offer suggestions to you. Here are the solutions that the supervisor produced. We would have 4 solutions. The first one is negotiate with the client. In this case, we may politely explain to the passengers that their requirement is not within their current package. but maybe we could provide them some extra things to 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 fulfill their needs. And the second suggestion is offering complementary services within budget. Although we may not provide them this kind of extra services, but we could provide some small gestures like complimentary drinks, room upgrades, or priority transportation to align with the company's policy. The third solution is highlighting future benefits. Well, because we cannot fulfill their extra requirement right now, but maybe we could tell the client that although their requirement is not within this time's package, but maybe next time you come we have another new corporation, we can provide you some higher or better services. And the fourth solution is we should always remember to have a customer-centric communication. We can reiterate in the company's commitment to provide them best experience while explaining that maybe this time we cannot, because this time due to some limitation of our company's policy. But next time we will commit that we'll provide the best services that we could give. And the next part is activity 1. You can turn to page 52. In activity 1, we will have 3 cases, and the three cases are some common accident or incidents that will happen in our daily life. Let's start with the first case, illness. And as you can see, we have 3 questions. The first question is, who is ill? One of the clients in the tour group. And what happened to he or she? This client began feeling unwell during the trip, and his or her symptoms are nausea, fever, and dizziness. And under this kind of situation, what kinds of responses might this client would want? It may be immediate medical attention or rest accommodation and the reassurance about their health or safety. As for what actions we can take, here are 2 actions. The first is to arrange a transportation to the nearest medical facilitation for evaluation, or inform the client's emergency contact if needed. And the case 2 is theft. We also got 3 questions in here. The first is, who was the victim? The victim is one of the clients traveling in a group. What item was stolen? The stolen item was a wallet containing cash, credit cards, and identification documents. And where and when did it happen? It occurred at a crowded tourist attractions during the daytime. And in this situation, the client's desired responses might be assistance in filing a police report, helping securing temporary funds, and also some support with replacing essential documents. And the actions that we could take are here, and I list 2 actions. The first is guide the client to the nearest police station and report the theft and obtain a copy of report. And the second thing that we could do is to help client contact the bank to block their credit cards and request replacement. The last case is connecting flighting miss. The first question is, where would you fly to? Okay. Here the group is our group. Just traveling to Paris to New York with a connecting flight in London. And how many passengers are there in my party? Okay, sorry. In my party, the total is 5. We got 5 passengers. And why connecting flight is missed is because a delay in the first flight caused the group to miss connection. And in this situation, the passengers' request might be to make a rebook on the next available flight and assistance with meals, accommodations during the layover if necessary. Well, the actions that we could take are these two. The first thing is to contact the airline to explain the situation and rebook the group on the earliest available connecting flight. And the second thing is to arrange meal voucher and accommodation during this period. And this is my part. Let's give the floor to Kaiyu.
My name is Hong Kaiyu. I will talk about high and low context culture. And I prepared two videos about high and low context culture. The first video is high context culture example, and the second video is high context culture versus low context culture. It compared a high context country, Japan, with low context country, Canada. Let's start.
僕も混ぜてもらってもいいかな。
もちろんいいよ。みんなでやった方が楽しいもんね。
何、只野くんも入るの？
やったー。
入るがよい。
は？なんなのこいつ何様なの？古見様の前だからきついこと言えないけど正直消えろか。
空気読めよ。
邪魔。
帰るがよい。心の声が手に取るようにわかる。
On the difference between high context and low context. So first let's start by explaining what high context and low context are.
Yeah.
So there's a Japanese expression called and it basically means reading the air or reading the atmosphere.
Atmosphere.
And so what I mean by that is in English we say something direct. If I say, if I have dinner, I have a steak dinner, and I don't like it, I tell the waiter or waitress directly, I didn't like it. There was something wrong with it. It was undercooked. There's something bad with it. Versus in Japan, if you don't like the food at the restaurant, what do you say?
Okay, we can go there. For sure.
And then you have the steak, and you eat it. It's terrible, but your girlfriend brought you there. What do you say?
That's pretty good. We never express our mind directly. Because that should be respect for each other times. That's real. Yeah.
And so it's really different in terms of Japanese culture and like Western culture in English. And it's something.
After watching these videos, we may have to know this special expression in Japanese. It's called kuki o yomu. It means reading the air or reading the atmosphere. In the first video, a boy asks his classmate whether he can join their talk or not. Outwardly, it seems like they are welcoming him, but actually it's not. And the second videos, The second video's example is in a restaurant. Canadians will say the food is delicious if they like it, and if they don't, they will directly say they don't like it. But on the other hand, Japanese people will say the food is delicious if they even if they don't like it. Is the end of my part. Let's turn to Wan Yu.
To conclude, in the part of warming up, we introduced 3 don'ts and do's for reaction to emergencies and some common situations. And we also listed some vocabularies and prepositions to learn more about this unit. And in discussion questions and activity 1, we introduced clients' requests, sudden physical illness, and stolen accidents in travel. So in the end, the most important thing is to do something, and in almost every case. An imperfect plan is better than no plan, and action is better than inaction. Here is our references. First, we use the textbook English for Mice and find the contents. And in the part of warming up, vocabulary, scenario 1, preposition practice, discussion questions, and activity 1. We also used Cambridge Dictionary to find the English definition for the vocabularies. And also, we used Yahoo Dictionary to find the phonetic symbols in the part of warming up and vocabulary. And Google and the ChatGPT, we find the examples for warming up and discussion questions and activity 1. And the last one, YouTube, we use it to find the music and the examples for break time and high and low context culture. Okay. There is our inside story. This is what Kaiyu did for this presentation, and total hours is 10 hours. She did it on December 11th, 15th, and 16th. The next one is Yuzhen. This is what Yuzhen did for this presentation, and total hours is 4 hours and 20 minutes. She did it on December 5th and 13th. And this is what Eating did for this presentation. The total hours is 7 hours. She did it on December 8th, 15th, and 15th. Okay. Next one is my part. I did it for this presentation, and total hours is 6.5 hours. I did it on November 29th, 30th, and on December 13th. The last one is Boyan. The total hours is 2 hours, and he did it on December 16th, 9th, and 13th. Okay, and here is our job assignment. As for Kaiyu, she did the high and low context culture, and Yuzhen, she did the scenario 1 and preposition practice. As for Eating, she did discussion questions and activity 1. And I did warming up, conclusion, references, inside story, job assignment, and break time. And Boyan, he did vocabulary and scenario 1. So now we will have a 20 minutes break time. Please come back at 2:25.